Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. I am just back home from JoeFest and then sort of an extended vacation visiting the parents. And I want to take a look at everything that I picked up at JoeFest and a few things that I didn't pick up at JoeFest that I just grabbed along the way and wanted to take a look at. So I'm here in the workshop. Let me turn this thing around and we will get down to business. Got a lot to talk about, so let's check it out. Alright, so this is the haul. The things that I did not get from JoeFest are on top of the totes there. The things that I did here. Let's get this stuff out of the way. So this is, well, we'll take a look at it piece by piece. Because there's some stuff in here that, again, I didn't get at JoeFest, but is pretty exciting to me. This is the main JoeFest tote. I'm going to set it right up here for the time being. And this is the box of earthquakes. That's right, I bought a box of earthquakes. Why? Well, you're going to have to join audiblearmy.com and check out the Friday Night Funhouse live from JoeFest in order to find out why in the world I bought a box of earthquakes. Okay. Let's get that there. I'm going to see if I can mount my camera without it being too disruptive to the recording. Everything seems to be working pretty well. All right, not a bad transition there. All right, I'm going to put my tote back up here for just a second. So this, I learned my lesson last year. I bought, now granted I did not bring a mobile command center size tote, but that's because I had no intention of buying anything as big as the mobile command center like I did last year. So I brought this tote and a bunch of bubble wrap because I did learn last year that I don't want to have to run to Walmart before we make the drive away from JoeFest in order to buy bubble wrap and a tote. And it just so happens that everything I got at JoeFest fit perfectly into that tote. And I don't think that size was a consideration in my purchasing. Because this was kind of a light year for me. Sorry, my voice is moving around because I'm trying to get situated here. This was a little bit of a light year for me in some ways. In other ways, I don't know. We'll get into it. So first, real quick, Walmart purchase. I'll be reviewing this on the channel. I was delighted to find out that the new Trick or Treat Studios action figures are being carried by Walmart. Hang on, let me do a little adjust. There we go. Because I thought I had missed this Toxie. It's sold out a lot of places online, and I was actually having a conversation with somebody like, I don't want to pay more for it. But now I've decided I really want this because it's being sculpted by, oh gosh, is it Varner or Werner? It should be on here, right? I think it's Varner Studios. You can find them on, I can't believe there's not a credit for them on here. That's terrible. You can find them on Instagram. It is either Varner or Werner Studios, but they sculpted a ton of the original Ninja Turtles, the original Toxic Crusaders line, and when I found out that they are being used to do these new figures, which, oh my gosh, look at this. I kind of wanted to get in on the line. So these are both of these are at Walmart now. I'll be reviewing them on the channel very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. So that was just an exciting find in North Carolina. Also in North Carolina, from a pretty cool shop that's always worth visiting, Whatever Wilmington, I grabbed some Star Trek The Next Generation figures for pretty darn cheap. Now, I've already got all of these, although if you notice, weirdly unpunched. I've already got all of these figures, but I do not have them mint on card. And the reason I bought these, the reason I wanted them mint on card, and these cards are just a tad, now this one's not unpunched. These cards are a little beat up, but the reason I bought these is these folks are going to be guests at Dragon Con later this year, and I thought it would be so cool to have signed figures, because I loved, well, okay, so I say unpunched. It was poked through, but still has the tab in there. So it's not really unpunched, but it still has the little tabby thing. But anyway, I've got a huge collection of this Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation series. I think it's one of the greatest toy lines ever, despite some weird aesthetic choices about these figures, which are understandable given the success of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I just wanted to grab these, $7, $5, $5. Come on. And then I'll bring them to Dragon Con and get them signed for probably like $60 each. But what are you going to do? But just things that I think are, oh, new. Look at that. I'm going to have to remove this. Exclusive. What does this say? Hang on. Let's discover what this sticker is here. Whoa. Isn't that interesting? Exclusive Skybox Playmates collector card included, but then that is covered up with a new sticker. Weird. Oh, not only is that a collector card, that is a POG right there. Space Caps. That's great. And maybe I'll do some little unboxings of, because these cost nothing to buy. It's the reason I wanted to buy them in person from whatever Wilmington. Is, of course, you don't want to have to pay shipping. Because look, yeah, you can get this figure for $5, but then you got to pay $10 shipping. So that's the reason I bought those there. And they didn't have, there are a few other guests that will be at Dragon Con, but they didn't have any of their figures there. All right, let's get into the tote now. The official, everything from here on out is something that I actually got at JoeFest. And I got to dig through some receipts. I always keep my receipts for no good reason. I got my stickers on top. I'm going to try and keep the stickers with the specific thing. Okay, this is... Oh, gosh, I just dropped stuff on the ground. Hang on. So this is a huge deal. Let me get the other piece of this. Michael Charles Hill was at JoeFest. And if you do not know, Michael Charles Hill created Cold Slither and wrote the episode that Cold Slither appears in, and also wrote the Special Mission Brazil audio adventure and created Claymore. This is huge for me. If you look on the channel, you can see I've got a video about the Special Mission Brazil set. That was a Toys R Us exclusive set of G.I. Joes in 1986. Everything about Special Mission Brazil, I'm just a fan of. So he was there. I got him to sign the script. He had card backs, which I was really happy to see because I was hoping he would have something substantial there that you could pick up and have him sign. So we've got a little card back for Claymore, complete with a file card that he wrote on the back. This is huge, and a little teaser here. We will be doing something with this script in the future. I'm not going to say in the near future because it's going to require some planning, but that is coming. So stay tuned to Needless Things and to Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. All right, let's see. Got my Super 7 bag that I'm going to save because, well, we'll get more into that in a minute. Protective bubble wrap on top of the first vehicle that I picked up, which is a Cobra Parasite. This thing kind of caught my eye a couple of years ago. I like it because it's an APC. It's a personnel carrier. It's got the saw blade type things that it flings. Well, I'm not going to do reviews of anything here because audiblearmy.com is going to be getting exclusive reviews of everything that I picked up. But I just wanted to go through and kind of see where my mind was. So that is the Cobra Parasite from the toy department, $25. I think it's a bargain. The colors are striking and cool. I really dig it. Oh man, I didn't think about where I'm going to put this stuff as I go through it. I still have not cleaned up my workbench here from the pre-JoeFest scramble I had. This is the Necromancer exclusive action figure from Grindhouse Toys. This is... Whew, I'm excited to review this thing. And actually, as soon as I'm done with this haul video or whatever, I will be reviewing this. So this will be available this week. But you can see how killer the packaging is for it. I'm not going to show you the figure. You're going to have to check out the video this week, the video review of the actual figure. But this is just incredible. In association with Fresh Monkey Fiction, this is an action figure by Chris Scott of Grindhouse Toys, who has been on Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. Please check that out. So this was a big deal to be able to get one of these. Coming soon to the Needless Things YouTube channel. What else we got here? Oh, speaking of Chris Scott, I grabbed the Cobra Warlord custom kit. Now this still be... Well, we'll go ahead and take a look at this still be. What are we doing with words here? We'll go ahead and take a look at this because I won't be doing a specific review of this kit. This was for the custom class that was held on Friday morning. I was not able to get there early enough for the custom class, but you have the... And this is all 3D printed, which is crazy to me. And you can see it's flexible material. But you've got the vest for the Cobra. This is to customize a Sergeant Slaughter action figure, which I happen to have an extra of. But it came with the vest, the beret, what the heck is this? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to look at the images of the Cobra Warlord to see what in the world this is. Oh, these... Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna need my, like, a little how-to video. The parts to make the Cobra World Heavyweight Championship. And a special grenade launcher. Whoop, sorry, there we go. So like I said, I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it for the custom class, which went 5 hours and was Friday morning, but I wanted to make sure I got the parts for this. So I got the parts. I got the card back signed by Chris and Mark. Mark II Designs. You can see right there. I don't know where I'm going to find a protector big enough for this, but I don't care because I had to have it. I love that they did this. But yeah, you can see Mark II Design, Grindhouse Toys, and it's got the actual JoeFest logo, which brings me to a bit of a tough thing about this JoeFest is that there were a lot of exclusives that sort of took up my vintage toy money a little bit. And it's a great thing for JoeFest. And look, some of them I could have gotten online later on, I'm sure. But the excitement of having a G.I. Joe convention and being able to be there and actually get convention exclusives, which I've never experienced before because I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I've never been to any convention that has exclusives before. So just the excitement of being able to get an exclusive at the convention it's something I've always wanted. So I did. And speaking of that very practice, I got Super 7's Glenda reaction figure, which looks great. Got a great metallic sheen on her jumpsuit, leotard, whatever there. Just a cool looking, unique figure I'm happy to have. She's got Flash's laser rifle, which is really cool. And then, of course, the file card on the back. Oh my gosh, look, it's in Spanish. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. Ha! And she is considered, I guess, part of the wave, which I do have this wave now. So she's considered part of that wave, I suppose. All right. So anyway, there's Glenda. But this is probably the prize of JoeFest. And if I were going, I'm not going in order of significance. One of my goals, I must do this things of JoeFest was to meet Brian Flynn. You guys know I love Super 7. I love what Super 7 does. I make no bones about being partial to their product, and sometimes maybe a little less critical than I could be about it, but I don't care. I love Super 7, and I did get to meet Brian Flynn. I did get to stand there and talk to him. I lost my cool in a way that I haven't in many, many, many years. I've interviewed Ric Flair. I've interviewed Sting. I've interviewed lots of big names, but I dorked out pretty bad for Brian Flynn. But he was very kind, could not have been any nicer, and signed my Cobra Mortal action figure. And he's just he was the nicest guy. It was an incredible experience getting to meet this guy who I've admired for so long because I love his company and I love the way that they do things. So that is a signed Cobra Mortal that's going in a protector as soon as I am done with this video. And then on the back, look at that file card, also in Spanish. Fantastic. Look at the art. I love this. I didn't really look at Glenda's art. Hang on, oh man. I love this stuff. I love Super 7. And like I said, Brian Flynn just could not have been nicer. Okay, continuing on. One more layer. You got to do layers and then individual when it's called for. What's that? Oh, okay. So up next is the second thing that I bought at JoeFest, which surprised the heck out of me because I've been looking for this for a couple of years and I have not seen it live in person at a convention. And at JoeFest, this guy was sitting there. So I had this when I was a kid and I just really loved the design and the weirdness. And this is from the real Ghostbusters, the Gooper Ghost. You can see a little chip on the tooth there. Otherwise, though, like his eyes are still solid. This one's got a little peel to it, but it's not too bad. He needs to be cleaned up a little bit. His arms are a little loose. But you guys know my standard is, well, if I still had mine, what would it be like? So I don't need things to be like pristine and perfect, but I do want them to be as complete as possible. Oftentimes, this little tailpiece is broken off. It's strangely difficult to find one of these intact, and if you look online, at least recently, prices have been up around $100. I got this guy for way, way, way less than that. How it works is you put your ecto slime, which I'm looking now, and it looks like there's a little bit of ecto slime left up at the top there. Either that or black mold, so I'm going to try not to breathe this in too much. He does need to be cleaned up. But anyway, you put your slime in that tube, and of course the plunger pushes the slime out through Gooper Ghost's nose and the top of his mouth there. So this was a thrilling find. And then there was another one. Another booth had one as well, but it was more expensive than this one. It was in a little better shape, but it cost a decent bit more. So I got my Gooper Ghost. I'm very happy, and that checks one off the list. Okay, what's next? Let's go ahead and talk about these since the reviews have already gone up. I got the exclusive Blood Prince Dracula and Omen of Doom Forgotten King from Fresh Monkey Fiction's Operation Monster Force. I am more hyped for this line than any other toy line this year. I cannot wait to get the first product. Well, I couldn't wait to get the first products in hand. I got them in hand. I reviewed them at my parents' house, so things, the reviews are slightly different from what I normally do. But the reviews are up here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Please do check them out. but this was also thrilling. I was the first one in line to get these, and they're awesome. But again, to get those convention exclusives, which these will be available online later, but again, to be in line to get them at the convention, it was just really exciting. So got those, and they're great. I'm looking for, there it is. So the very first thing I did at JoeFest was track down our pals Ken and Steve from Delta 17 and get my Delta 17 Red Okami JoeFest exclusive. Again, this will be available online later on. But first of all, I just wanted to, get there and talk to Ken. He has been just awesome in every aspect of, talking to somebody who makes toys, basically. And Steve has been great as well. But yeah, I wanted my Delta 17 exclusive. If you have not checked out this toy line yet, you really need to. They're incredible. Ken is going to be back on, has already been. When this video goes up, he will have already been on Audible Interlude again. But yeah, this was my first purchase. I made a beeline to the Delta 17 table so I could get, again, that JoeFest exclusive. Boom, had to have it. All right, and I will be reviewing that at some point on the channel. This one I have already reviewed on audiblearmy.com. This is Red Star. I haven't cleaned him up yet. This is Red Star. I needed this to go with my Brawler, and I overpaid for him, but whatever. Sometimes that happens. Stopped by Matthew LaCroix. LaCroix's Toys. Strike Force Alpha, another 3 3/4 inch O-ring line that I have been absolutely in love with. And he hooked me up with a little accessory pack with some cyborg zombie parts that I'm going to use on one of the figures. I need to order some more of these. I've had 2 opportunities to do it, and for whatever reason, I just like buying stuff in person, but I get distracted. So anyway, I got a little cool accessory set for my Strike Force Alpha figures. We're getting there. We're in the home stretch. This is another Joe vehicle that I have been I need to get it. I need a Persuader. Why don't I have a Persuader? I don't know. I haven't bought one yet. And I don't remember having this when I was a kid, which is weird because it was a reasonably affordable vehicle. It's a cool, I don't know why I didn't have one, but I didn't. But I did have, hang on, I'm trying to find, there he is. I did have Backstop when I was a kid. Now, this Persuader did not include Backstop, but I felt the price was right. There were a bunch. I think this was Toy Department as well. They have, of course, like they do, they had like 6 of these sitting out, so I took a look at them, picked the one I thought looked best. I will be reviewing this on audiblearmy.com, so please check it out. And then I will review Backstop also in that same review. So I picked those up. I'm absolutely running out of space here, which is not good because the biggest item is coming up. I also finally made the decision to grab Fast Draw. I did have Fast Draw when I was a kid, and I'll get more in depth when I do the review at audiblearmy.com, but it's just taken me a long time to pull the trigger on buying him. I don't know why. Also, Toy Department. All right, we're almost done. I grabbed Dan Larson's other figure release and the accessory set that goes with the Mighty Maniacs guy. Is that it? Are we done? We can't be done. We're done. All right, we're down to the last item, which is the story. Again, the story of the box of earthquakes has to be heard to be believed because it's complete nonsense. But I bought that box of earthquakes, and it turned out there were 9-ish earthquakes in there. They were not all complete. There were 2 complete earthquakes. I gave one to Christian, who has been looking for an earthquake. I kept one for myself. Oop, there are the missiles. Now, obviously, this needs to be cleaned up. And then the other 7 that are in various states of disrepair and missing pieces, I have plans for. Thanks to Carson Metaxas, he had a couple of great ideas that I believe I'm actually going to execute. So, some of the stickers are coming off, some of them are on there pretty good, but I think this thing is going to have to take a bath. It's going to need a fig bath, as it were. And I'm going to look on Toy Hacks before I do anything to make sure they actually have the stickers for the earthquake. I had zero interest in this, and I actually thought it was a little silly of Christian to want one like he did. But now that I've got it, oh, it's kind of awesome. It's a pretty good toy, but I will be reviewing this on audiblearmy.com as well. So that is my JoeFest haul. I had a blast there. JoeFest is my favorite toy-oriented convention. I just don't think there's a better time to be had. Our live panel, Audible Interlude did a panel live. That is available wherever you get your podcast, from Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. And then the Friday Night Funhouse, which I mentioned before, only available at audiblearmy.com. So stay tuned to the Needless Things YouTube channel for some of the things that you saw here to be reviewed. The Operation Monster Force figures have already been reviewed, so check our archives for that. And, as always, just more toy reviews coming all the time here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, buy what you like, and buy a lot of it.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.